I'm in a space where hurdle, hardship, opposition, problem, or issue is the lighter fluid and fire fuel that's guiding the missile to that top position and mission I've been trying to get to, but see, trying is not an option. When your grind is official, please start winning, stop whining, start living, stop dying, start doing, stop trying, start doing, stop trying, start doing, stop trying, please. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Spotters Podcast.
Oh my goodness.
I am tearing right now. We have already started flowing.
Yeah.
This is episode 2,
Oh my God.
technically, but
Yeah, is it?
it's,
Yeah.
it looks a lot better. As you can see, we've escalated and elevated.
It's growing.
It's growing, pause. I go by the name of Shy Stimuli sometimes.
Yes, sir. I go by the name LG. Yiddy.
Ball Brown. Yeah, dig.
Yeah, you might have seen us on the No Bars Off show. Now this is something new that we bring it to you, where we get together, work out a little bit, and then work out our issues, man. And we hope to inspire other Spotter verses out there. See what we did there? Spotter Nation,
Nice.
you know, other people to get together and talk about whatever they got going on. We realize that men don't really do this enough. You know what I'm saying? They don't really get together and be a sounding board for each other. So in that spirit, here we are.
Yes, sir.
I'm in the hot seat today. I had some things I wanted to bring up, but based on our conversations recently,
Oh, shit.
my issue
Oh shit.
is real simple.
Mm.
I have a couple of friends that I speak to from time to time that feel like I now don't like New York.
Mm.
And I am growing weary that I may have an issue, that my place of birth
Damn. Tough.
is no longer, like my flag is like, it's fading. And I don't know what to do about it. I've been here since 2012 officially. And we're gonna go into our introduction to Atlanta stories and just really flush out what's going on. I'm looking at the Hawks wins and I'm like, yay, we oh, I'm not a Hawk fan. The Falcons what? Wait, not a Falcon fan.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the weather and then I'll scroll to New York weather and be like, ha ha,
Ha ha.
what's wrong with me? I
Mm.
talk to friends back home and it sounds like they locked up in prison. And I'm trying to like, I'm speaking to them from a place of hierarchy. Who am I?
Mm.
I'm from Brooklyn, B.
Right.
But for some strange reason,
Hey.
I'm losing it, y'all.
Right.
Yeah.
It's normal. It happens, man. You know what I mean? You automatically do a comparison. You
Yeah.
spent the majority of your life in one place,
Yeah.
and you hold that dear to your heart, and then you move to another place, and you go, "Oh shit, there's actually a place better than the place that I grew up and spent the majority of my life."
Mhm.
And then you soak that in, and you go, "Damn. First of all, I should have moved here sooner. Second of all, how could I get everybody to experience this?" You automatically gonna do that.
Better,
You know what I
though.
mean?
Use the word better. And I try to measure my words because I'm still a New Yorker at heart. I just don't want to be this person that I don't want to say looks down. But it's like my life has improved so much. What do I do? Like,
Yeah.
How you not celebrate those wins though?
yeah, I mean, we celebrating like a mother.
Yeah.
We celebrate.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm
we
saying. Like, how
celebrate.
you not celebrate those wins? Like, are you not supposed to be like? Are you supposed to be like, oh nah, I know it's dudes in New York that they probably wouldn't appreciate this, but
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. But to grasp how much better it is, you have to want better. That's another angle to it.
And what is better? That's subjective.
That
Yeah.
exactly
Mhm.
better is subjective. People could be comfortable where they are. People can be
Correct.
love what they do, love where they are, love the job that they have, love the setting that they're in on a day-to-day.
Correct.
That might be
Correct.
what they aspire to. That
Or
might,
what they're just comfortable with,
that's
because
true.
normally, I'd even say for me, for my experience with going away to college, of course I was inspired by a different world and all that, but to actually go away out of state,
Yeah.
I was like, for what? Like, I
Right.
got my parties here.
Yeah.
At the time, I got girls here. I got
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Until I go to homecoming and go, wow. So wait, y'all get to have basically your own apartment. You
Yeah.
do whatever you want and all of this stuff, and you can drink and you can party and you can girls there, and you can learn about Black culture and different things. Sign me up for that. But I had to experience it. I had to go see what it was like and stay there for an extended period of time and be like, okay, I want to do that. But if I never had that experience, more than likely I wouldn't have went.
Exposure is everything.
But when we were in Delaware, I feel like we raised our Brooklyn flags higher.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Like,
but
it was-
I think that was our youth. That was our
Yeah,
being so in love with the city that we felt like nothing was better.
of course.
Like
Yeah.
being, especially not just being from New York, being from Brooklyn. Like y'all really can't tell us nothing.
No.
Basically, we're from Brooklyn and you're not. We don't care if you're from Jersey. We don't care if you're from wherever. Like that was.
Shout out to my Jersey folk.
We love
But
Jersey.
I mean, that was
I know.
the mentality we come in
Yeah.
with. We didn't leave with that same mentality.
Yeah, of course.
Mhm.
But, yeah, you, and I think everybody came in there with their hood on their back.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Of
know
course.
what I mean? Because you go to a place like that and it's centrally located to so many major cities. You got New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Philly, DC. Like, you got all
Yeah.
these people from these cities. They want to, they want to rep their hood where they from
Hell
too.
yeah.
So of
As they
course,
should. As they
for
should.
us, we're gonna be like, we don't care where you're from. We're from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
Yeah.
you're from where? Great. I'm from Brooklyn.
Right.
So
Right.
I mean, and there was no disrespect to nobody else, but that's what we knew at that time. But in that time period of transitioning, and while you're going through school and while you're spending that time away from home and you're seeing all these different scenes and you
Mhm.
going to other schools and you going to other people's homes and visiting the city that they in,
Right.
you seeing different shit.
And you got to also take into consideration your lifespan in New York City was from this age to this age.
Yeah.
You're a
Yeah.
totally different person from that age group to
Yeah.
who you are now or who
Absolutely.
you've become in the last 10, 12 years.
Absolutely.
So your what you take in is pause. See, I still haven't grown up yet. So what you experience now is different, and you appreciate it more than you
That's
would
what I
have
was about to say.
if you moved in 18, 19.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It wouldn't be the
The
same.
appreciation level is different. And
Believe
the
it-
shit we accomplished is different now in our later years,
Yeah.
obviously, than it was in our younger years.
I'll give you one better. Had you made a move like this at 18, 19, it would have been rebellious because you would have felt like you were leaving everything
Oh,
you
absolutely.
Oh
love.
yeah,
In New York City,
yes,
you're leaving
yes.
your friends, you're leaving
Yeah.
all that. You're moving down. I'm over to the country. I got to move to not
Yeah.
knowing what
Right.
Atlanta had in store for you.
We visited here in, was it 01,
That was 01.
01,
Yeah.
2000, and I feel like it set the stage for us
It
to
really
move
did.
later on.
And we didn't know.
Because we were really biased. I had lived in Delaware and Iowa were the two places I had
Mhm.
resided.
Mm.
And coming out to Atlanta, it felt crazy because it felt like it could be somewhere you could live, right? We didn't know this existed.
It almost didn't feel real though.
It didn't feel real.
Like,
it didn't feel real. The ability to
Riding
get
around in the city, 20, 21 years old, and like seeing what you seeing, like you seeing things like what we would see, like say downtown Brooklyn or like Midtown Manhattan or something like that.
Mm.
We seeing that with flourishing Black businesses and
Mhm.
Black clubs and like all of this that's run, and like all the people that you see look like you.
Mm.
So it's almost like you
Mm.
get a bit of the city New York feel, but
Yeah.
at the same time you surrounded by the majority of the people that look like you. So it's a little more of a
Right.
welcoming feeling.
Right.
And then when you add in the Southern hospitality to it, it's like, oh, everybody's
Yeah.
nice.
The
Yeah,
women,
yeah.
the music industry.
The
which
music industry
we
really
were-
kind of started the transition.
we were trying to get in, and we were noticing that in New York, you couldn't just walk up to a radio station.
Nope.
You couldn't meet tastemakers and people that could make decisions and sign deals.
Needed
Like
a
it wasn't easy. And here we were buzzing by just saying
Listen.
somebody saying, "Yo, you got to hear this kid rap for this person." Like
And
it
people
was,
would literally show up like, oh
it
yeah, I'm
was
on the way.
it was working.
It's
Like
crazy.
it was fast. It was like, wow, this place is different.
Crazy. It's
Right.
different.
You know what I'm saying? So you were the first one to move.
Yeah.
What was your experience like? What made you decide? And
So I had a little bit of a early peak. I mean, not so much Atlanta, but just Georgia. My grandmother's family is originally from Georgia. I used to spend summers in Athens, Georgia.
Mm.
My grandmother's family is like literally 3 to 5 minutes away from UGA's campus.
okay,
So I spent a lot of summers out here, but never in Atlanta. My brother actually moved here first. He
Right.
moved here while we were still in school. Came out to visit a couple of times, summer times, and simple shit like what we consider a nice night, weather nice, we out on the block, kicking it, whatever the case may be. Come out here, that shit is we in the backyard, got the fire going, sitting back, chilling, grill. I'm like, this is chilling, but this is a different type of chilling.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's still chilling. You still with your, you still with your fam. You still, just cooling or whatever. But we outside.
Yeah.
I mean, we outside like you normally would be outside on the block, or whatever. But we ain't got to worry about who's driving by. We ain't got to worry about who's doing this. We ain't got to. You ain't got to pay so much attention. You can actually let your guard down and relax.
Right.
And you just in your yard kicking it.
The weather.
Weather's different. Environment is different,
right.
and you really just it's not so much to worry about. Like, and when they say it's kind of literal and figurative. Like you turn the noise down
Mhm.
and you get to really enjoy it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you're not
yeah.
hearing sirens going off. You're not hearing nobody arguing. You're not hearing gunshots. You're not hearing nothing. You just sitting outside. You might hear crickets or something like that.
Right. It's peaceful.
It's peaceful.
Yeah.
So like between those visits and then I think what sold me, I was always had to drive all the way to fucking Ralph Avenue, the only IHOP in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So like that was the only place I can go get IHOP. I came out here and visited one time, maybe in like 02, 03.
Mhm.
Stayed at a hotel by the airport, went by Vaughn crib, came back to the hotel, didn't even realize it. They had a damn 24-hour IHOP attached to the hotel.
So you
I
got
was like, well,
food.
yeah, I was downstairs eating at like 3 in the morning by myself in
That's
IHOP. I
cool.
said, yo, this is a
It's
sign.
different.
This
It's
is a
different.
sign.
It's different.
It's like,
Get us
this is a
every
sign.
time.
So, yeah, that was it for me. I literally moved, like, this is my 20th year here.
Wow.
That's
I
dope.
literally moved New Year's Eve, 2004, going into 2005.
Yeah.
So every New Year is literally a new year for me. But this is,
I don't even think
Yeah,
we knew
24.
when you moved.
Right.
Like the official move. I don't think we
yeah,
knew
that shit
when
was
you
like
left.
wedding. I moved like a month later. But like I had everything in line before that. Like I had been doing interviews out here. I had been looking at jobs out here, whatever the case may be.
Mm.
But as far as like, and this is where the either you want to do it or you don't, or you'll find a reason not to do something.
Right.
People are always lean on, oh, nah, you won't make the same money out there, or nah, I ain't got nothing set up out there. I moved out here with no job.
Mm.
I moved out here with about what I considered 6 months worth of expenses to keep me afloat.
Mhm.
I had no job,
Mm.
nothing. I had enough money that I figured I had a career that I could find something pretty easily.
Right.
I thought I wasn't gonna be able to make it. By the middle of month 4, found a gig at CNN. Been here ever since.
Mm.
And you're the
Yeah.
newest implant.
Yes.
What was your decision making process to leave big city?
To be honest with you, I think a lot of it happened during. Well, first of all, I came here in the early 2000s to visit. This is when like Gladys Knight's waffle
Mm.
or
Chicken
whatever chicken and
waffle.
waffle spot was open.
Yeah.
Came here, but those are like really. That's when I was on my music stuff. So it was a lot of music driven
Oh yeah.
places we were going to
Right.
and parties and stuff. So I didn't really get. I got the culture of Atlanta, but I didn't get the
Yeah.
residential experience. But it wasn't until coming to visit you guys, coming to stay with the cousins of mine, and I'm really like looking at not only land, not only home ownership, black businesses, which definitely attracted me. It felt like Wakanda. Every place I go into, I went to a Chinese store for the first time down here, and there was black employees in there.
Yeah.
So what is this?
Yeah.
I've never seen this in all of my damn
It's a
life.
different
That's
place,
frequent.
man.
So this is how y'all doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just a lot of different things that made me be like, that opened my mind up to things. And I think during COVID, my wife and I would just be in the house with the kids and be content.
Mhm.
And I realized at that point I could move to
Anywhere I want to.
I could move to the moon. It don't matter. As long as I got these people right here,
That's it.
I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Of course, I love my friends and family and all that stuff, but I mean, my core, I'm good.
Yeah.
And then we started looking into New Jersey just to get out of the city.
Right.
Because you end up going to Airbnb out there and experiencing this big
I
old
remember that.
house
I remember that.
and just the land. And I'm just like, yo, I need to move to Jersey. So I looking
Yeah.
at houses in Jersey. I remember you saying, no, you need to come look out here. You need to come look. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of
Like,
far. At least if I'm in Jersey, I got to
Yeah.
come to Brooklyn for a party or meet up with the
Yeah.
dudes.
And
I could do it.
acting.
And
Right.
acting as well.
Yeah.
I knew
Right.
most of the casting directors. I knew coming out here would be a slower start because you got to get representation out here.
Yeah.
And when I moved out here, we were on strike.
Yep.
True.
So I couldn't do that if I wanted to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But making the move, I will say, with all honesty, is probably one of the, not even probably, it's one of the best moves I've ever done.
Mhm.
Ever. Going to college, having my kids, being with my wife, and making this move, I
Wow.
think were like the most powerful things that I've done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it gives my children an opportunity to uh, experience life differently.
Mhm.
You know, of course, there's no corner store, so they got to get used to that.
Yeah.
But a lot of the drama or bullshit that they would have been exposed to or have been exposed to, they don't necessarily have to deal with it here.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and then I got, you know, and I got my brothers to build with,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, and do dope things with and dope work on dope projects. And I just think it was the dopest move that I could have made.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It took me 5 years of visiting my future wife because she lived here,
Yeah, she lived there first.
and I would just come back and forth. And every time I booked a flight to come out here, I would be excited. And I started booking one-way flights and just staying until something I had to go back to New York. I would just stay out here. And then we broke up once I moved here. So I was like, do I want to be here? Was it her? Was it here? Like I wasn't
Right.
sure. And I remember going back to New York and visiting around 2011, 2012, I think it was.
Mm.
And I envisioned what it would look like if I were to, you know, set up life as a grown up who wasn't living with his mom, who would have a car and a place. And I started seeing what would that look like? What would that feel like? And I just I couldn't grasp it. I was like, nah, this don't, this seemed like, it seemed tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seemed hard. It seemed like I would have to take all of the things that I had started moving and bring them back to mom's house to get set up.
Just to start.
And I was like, nah.
Listen.
So I found an apartment out here for $625, 1 bedroom, had a car that I was paid for, was substitute teaching, doing music, and was good.
How crazy is that?
Good.
Yeah, that's nuts.
How crazy is that?
That's nuts.
It was yeah. So I say all that to say, I started this saying I don't want to be mad at the city that birthed me. I don't know how long it takes for you to, if you've been here 30 years, do you still be like, yo, I'm from New York?
Always from New York. Always from New York.
Listen, I'm always gonna be from New York. Like
There
I
we
like
go.
no matter what. I don't care how long I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm always gonna be from New York. Like
Yeah.
that's just it.
Yeah.
Do you do an accent
but-
check from time to time?
Nah, I don't even have to. Like the
Okay.
minute I speak, people know like yeah,
Alright.
he ain't from here.
You
Yeah,
start singing your
yeah.
words here and there, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, you got, yeah, hey, you got to be able to mix it up now, Charlie. You
Now,
gotta
I would
mix it
now-
up, you know what I'm
I
talking about?
will
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
I've gone back to Brooklyn and had a person be like,
Yeah.
"You sound a little,
Yeah.
you done been gone too long."
Yeah.
I will say I've had one of those,
Yeah,
but
nah, I can see that.
Yeah,
'Cause
down
it's
here,
not it's not as pronounced.
it's not right down
Yeah.
here. People like, "Oh, nah, he ain't from here."
Right.
But
right.
yeah, I think we can appreciate where we are now, but I think it's more so again being at the age we are. We probably
Yeah.
wouldn't have appreciated a move like this in your 20s
No.
or
Right.
30s.
Not at all.
We
Right.
probably wouldn't have survived a move like this
No.
in the
Yeah.
20s and 30s.
I fought it in my 30s. Definitely
Yeah,
fought it because
easily.
I wanted to be.
I'm sure two of us would have had AIDS easily.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it's
definitely.
it's just great that the timing worked out the way it did. But I'm just thinking about it's not that we don't like New York, but it's the hassles that you have to deal with when you visit that you never paid attention to while you were living there.
That's very true.
Mm.
That when you come back, it's like, fuck, I gotta pay for parking. I gotta move the car because I'm on the wrong side.
I just remember something. I don't remember which one of you it was. And it probably was you because you're laughing. When one of y'all called me and I was like, hold up, let me call you back.
That was me.
I'm
That
taking
was
out
me.
my air conditioners.
Yo, I listen.
I remember.
He
that.
laughed at me.
I will listen. This phone call was
Yeah.
just an out of the blue phone call. Just checking on my brother. Yo, what's going on? He was like, he's fumbling with the phone.
Sweating.
So I'm like, yo, what's going on? Is he fighting? Like, yo, my bad. I was taking the boys' ACs out the window. I was like, yo, do you hear yourself right now?
What?
You are manually, physically taking an
Take
AC
the
out of
what
a
and left the
window
what?
and take it. Yeah, I gotta take it back downstairs.
Yeah.
Take it all the way
Take
down to the
what
basement.
and leave the what?
That sounded
Son.
crazy.
It sounded like it was a fight.
Yeah.
And when you said it and you laughed, of course I laughed. And I said, oh shit, these motherfuckers got Central Air down there.
Yeah.
I get it.
And now
Okay.
you double back to that conversation often, like, yo, I remember you laughing at me, and now I
Yeah.
understand. Like
Yeah.
when I just have to press a button and I could change the temperature in the entire room when I don't have to
Entire
wait
house.
so I don't have to wait for a season to turn. Son,
Or the radiator to hiss and
when
warm
you
up.
told me that shit, I cried.
And you made a comment earlier that you thought when I came and visited, what was that? 20? What?
Oh yeah.
He said you was looking
2021?
around funny, like, ooh.
Yeah,
Like-
this guy came in the house.
Yo, don't
This
do
guy
that.
came in the house,
Sorry.
sat on my couch. He came to visit one time. I forgot what year it
It was
was.
2021. That was when we did How Can I Be Down?
2021.
Son.
Yeah.
Came to visit. Oh,
Yo.
ugh,
He did
how's it going?
He did the twins from ATL, like, don't eat nothing here. Yeah, I did see some roaches. You right.
He's like, it was hot. He was like, let me put the AC on. And he must have said, I didn't realize at the time. And that's in his mind,
I was
this is
not-
what he was doing. This is exactly what he's doing. He wanted something to drink, and I had to get that ice tray, put it in there. He was just,
All this was
Thanks.
Joe Brown. This was
I
Joe
was
Brown and
not-
like
there was no judgment.
cubes of ice from a
I
tray.
saw-
you
Nice.
mean to tell me you still using ice cubes?
I saw elevation in my mind.
Son.
I was envisioning elevation.
Son.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was seeing it.
Hilarious.
The double parking on the block.
Yeah,
Just
that was it for me.
Yeah.
The double parking on the block,
Yeah,
like
but-
the entire block to be double parked is
But you had a
insane.
nice setup. And this brings me to my last point, right?
Son.
When we think about when we were in our 20s or we were
Mhm.
in our teens and we thought about living in New York forever,
Right.
what did that look like? This is a two-part question. Like if you envision having the most money, like 30 million, 20 million, whatever
Right.
it is, like you're doing well. I know for me, I used to drive by those houses behind King's Plaza
Oh yeah.
and
Mhm.
kind of
Oh, okay,
envision
gotcha.
myself.
King, what was that? Kips Bay back there?
Yeah,
Something Bay,
whatever,
something,
Kings
right.
Bay, something Kings Bay, whatever. And I used to envision myself being at that level, you know,
Gotcha.
Yeah, of course.
at one
Oh
point.
yeah.
And in my 20s, I would envision having either a nice apartment in the
Mhm.
city, you know, kind of like Bugs had, overlooking, you know, the water and all of that.
Mhm.
That was my thought process. But
Mm.
at this point now, with all the money in the world, you couldn't pay me to be there
subject
because it's
myself
not
to that.
just the money. I thought money would, I get Central Air. The money would, I could wear fur coats when it's cold. The money would fix all of the things that I believe are wrong. Never have to ride the train.
Nah.
But even with all of that,
Mhm.
it's something about the comfort of this place and the camaraderie. And it's like, it's a vibe that I
Yeah.
appreciate more.
Absolutely.
The simplest things, going grocery shopping,
Yeah.
going to spots and being able to park and walk in.
Yeah, with
the
no
weather.
problem.
Mhm.
So I guess my question, are y'all at that same place where money wouldn't matter?
Yeah, there's nothing.
And what was your vision growing up? What did you see
There is-
yourself in your older years living in New York?
So for me, we had gated community in Coney Island. We had Seagate in the back, so we
Yeah.
felt like that was where all the rich people lived.
Okay.
Mm.
So we felt like when you made it, you either get a house in there,
Go
or
see it, yeah.
if you executive or something like that, you move somewhere to like Midtown, maybe
Mhm.
maybe get like, you know, because that's when you feel like you're making money. Money is
Mhm.
always in Manhattan.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was what the I made it
Yeah.
scene was like. Unless you did the family Long Island,
Long
know,
Island,
that like that's the
Jersey.
only way you're
Yeah.
gonna find a
Right.
house. So Long Island, somewhere
Yeah,
Queens,
Long
Jersey,
Island,
something like
yeah.
that.
Mhm.
but actually being at that foreseeable age, like thinking about it then and being here now, yeah, there is no amount that you could pay me to make me give up this.
Yeah.
Like, just for all of those reasons, like the weather, just the atmosphere, everything. Like, the city is always alive. It's always something to do, and it's always us. Like, it's never you got to go somewhere and worry about what type of crowd you're gonna find.
Yeah.
You go somewhere and it's always us, and it's always our women looking good. It's always, fellas and, everybody out having a good time. You playing games, you drinking, you doing whatever. But the city is just, it's a good mix of people. Like, and I think what makes it a little easier for us is, that melting pot feel that you get from New York. Like, being from New York, you're used to seeing people from different ethnicities and backgrounds and stuff.
Right.
But when
That's
you
another thing I love too, being able to say I'm from New York,
Right.
and that connectivity that
And-
happens. I love that.
Yeah.
and the thing is, like, being able to have that same feel with a bunch of your own people.
Right.
It's like, it's almost like they do make you feel welcome. The welcome is warm. Like, you're gonna take this love whether you like it or not. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
I know I don't know you, but how you doing?
Yeah.
Nice to see you. Have a good day. Like,
Very different.
and that kind of rubs on you. So,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
we don't hate New York.
no, this is not
No.
bad.
We just seen the other side. And
Absolutely.
when they say the grass is green on the other side, this is what they meant. This other side is where the grass is green at. I don't even know if grass grow in New York. no
Nah, it
more.
does. It does.
Look, we implore you all to visit, to
Listen,
and it doesn't even necessarily have to be here, but I think everybody should be cognizant enough to know that if you've only been in one area for a long period of time, that's
Yeah.
all you know.
Yeah.
You should be able to venture out to different cities, different
Absolutely.
states, and go, oh, it's dope over here. Oh,
Yeah.
it's dope over here. I'd never live here. I love the weather here, just so you can have an informed decision.
yeah.
And especially as you get older, I think that's the most
And
important.
just so y'all know, if I ever retire and leave and move anywhere, it will be LA.
LA.
I'm not doing LA.
Listen,
Don't do them quakes, boy.
ain't
listen,
going to LA.
listen.
It's a nice
But,
place.
LA.
you know what? By my own testament,
LA
maybe.
is-
I've never
yeah,
really
yeah.
been
LA
there like that.
is
So.
a vibe. I
It's a
love.
vibe.
I
You
absolutely
gotta check
love
in
LA.
though.
Yeah, well, nah, just live downtown, I guess.
you got
Right.
Located where? On Figueroa.
Word. I'll never ride the
Steady.
train again though.
Yeah.
This is not Bastion. Thank y'all for y'all support. I was self-conscious about this because people was telling me that I was sounding like a hater of the city that
Listen, man.
I came from, and I never want to be that. So
Who
if
never
you-
loves New York? Who doesn't
Right.
like
I
New
mean,
York?
I love it. For all my people still there. God bless you. I'm not serious.
May the odds be ever in your
God
favor.
bless you.
Stupid.
Listen, man.
And with that said, man, we signing out.
Listen,
Always remember Tupac cares.
if don't nobody else care.
Nobody else does, though.
Peace.
Stop trying, start doing. Stop trying, start doing. Stop trying, please.